Hi guys, welcome to the channel. It's Michelle Ochoa here with Divinely Genuine. Why Divinely Genuine? Because we're all very unique. We know this by way of our hand, and I don't mean the palm reading, though that's a thing. And actually there's Reiki points and all kind of stuff. Oh, so we're here to do a daily for astrology. You're going to pull some tarot and just do some spiritual flow, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope that my truth will help you on your path. And yeah, so what was I saying about the hands? Speaking of hands open, it's heart open. Certain mudras have to do with certain parts of the brain. The hands are so incredibly cool. There's, I didn't plan to talk about the hands, but that's how it goes, right? That's how flow goes too. What I mean by flow is observing and just going with it in conversation. That's part of being present, right? And so yeah, hey, what a time we're all in. I am doing my astrology school. It's for beginners. You do end up being able to read your natal chart by week 4. I call it week 4, but you can do this at whatever pace you want. You can literally get it done within I don't know, a few hours if you wanted to, and it's all sent to your inbox. I am going to do have the school live somewhere. Sorry, I'm live event, searching for the word throughout, but it just depends on if we have the place to do it and how many people, and so but get with me if you're interested in learning more about astrology. It really is so much truth to our universe, and it goes very deep. And the nodes are really, really important. They've been my greatest teachers, still are, still very much are. I hope that you guys are doing well. I'm doing good. I had a nice visit from my uncle, who is Jehovah's Witness, and he's a Pisces. Actually, his birthday was yesterday, but he doesn't celebrate it, and when I bring up astrology, he gets very because of what it says in the Bible. And even when I remind him, and I'm not trying to talk smack about him at all. I do love him. He has a cool personality, and it's just his beliefs and just the beliefs of religion, right? I can talk to him about anything, you know what I mean? And but he does get a little narrow with his beliefs, and I gotta kind of pull back. But I respect it too, because I've been there, I wasn't Jehovah's Witness, but I've been there where I cried thinking my best friend was going to go to hell for not believing in Jesus or whatever. And I recognize the light in everything. I say that, and I guess I should practice it more, but what I mean is that light and love of our souls has continued throughout history, in all the religions. And I always say in a garden, because it's that miracle essence of what keeps the planet spinning, that in itself, right? And then what grows a rose. I mean, we do know that it's the sun and the water, which are the planets, but it's that essence of love. And if we could all just unite as a human race, as people with souls, looking at other individuals, and understand a common sense of God is to not be put into a box. Like, even if it's your truth, don't become God and condemn another person for their beliefs because of some of your beliefs that you read in a book or that you got downloaded or whatever the hell it is, you know? Because, I mean, like, we should all be able to agree that God is love, right? And so, man, some intense times. I've been, I am blessed, very blessed, but, you can start to feel in your body when you're, this is something that is in my, I'm in the Leo Kings, who I love so much and respect so much, 100%. His light worker school, right? And I haven't, taken 2 years off of working and going on this spiritual like surrender and finding myself navigating and healing, and then not being able to really sustain work because I needed to let go. I just couldn't do it. And I was following my South Node for like a decade, right? And I don't mean to keep bringing this into the current, but I mean, I do mean to. It's intentional, but it's so important to me. It's important for us to tell our stories and our process. I mean, there's so many light workers like David Palmer, right? Who, and so many that have been so blessed to be able to have done this work for like a decade or more, or Christopher Witecki for like 20 years. When at this time in our lives you're trying to do this work, shit. It's a lot, and so who knows what will be created where. We can hope that we will choose love, choose God in us, self-love. What do I mean by God in us? Our own soul. Do you know how I found my understanding of why things were going wrong in life? Most people, they might follow the flow like, oh, it's not going right. It was astrology. And it returned me to my heart. That's how powerful this energy is. It returned me to my truth. Obviously, my soul and my heart, my physical heart was beating and keeping me alive, and my soul knew where to go, which is, interesting. But that heart center, to be able to balance out your masculine and feminine sides and heal and uncover this ascension process, right? It is beautiful and divine, and there's so much risk involved sometimes, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes for anyone. It's just an interesting time in our lives. The body, once you start clearing all of this, we'll say programming, right? Well, think of our bodies as like, I don't want to say a computer, but hey, we're in the freaking Aquarian days. And all of these old programs are being cleared out, and our, hearts are being opened and united with truth and divine partnerships, and the inner world that the heart is able to interact with. And I understand that a lot of people may not know what I mean. And I don't even want to put that out there. I hope that more and more people will and do. It's the mind, body, soul, right? Connection. And the divine connection to that higher power really is through the pineal gland, the third eye. The astrology is actually linked to the body. So today, in those 2 years, I honestly hadn't done a good job of following my own astrology. I'd keep up a little bit here and there, but, and I don't mean, when I explain myself, I don't mean to be like, oh, excuses or whatever, but just reasoning, and knowledge. Libra energy, they tend to focus on the other person, very much so. And we're kind of self-absorbed too, in a way, of trying to it's just a lot of different things, but they're an air sign, and so there's a lot of talking, a lot of expression through the mouth, right, and through the mind. And so I found myself in a very crucial point of time where I feel like I have available to me the most beautiful life. And someone that I know understands me in a lot of ways, as it's twin-like energy, and where it's a heart-connected, soul-connected energy. But not really paying attention to my own astrology. And this is divine work, it's a divine calling. But man, do these systems really tend to work where they can suppress people, keep them in the dark. And I just posted about this, but it's just like fucking important. Because people that have done this work for like 20 or 10 years, I'm not sure that they realize, we're saving souls, But there is this whole process. And anyway, I'm glad to be paying a little more attention with my astrology. But because I do like to teach, I like to guide others, and I'm so passionate about it, But when we're raised in throughout our history leading up to this point, we've taken on so much, and each person is so uniquely different, very divinely genuine, right? And when navigating the inner world, it's not the easiest thing. It's very interesting, and then at the same time, all we're really doing is choosing the best life by way of our heart. But when you're here to serve, right? When you have that pressure to serve, or build, it becomes a little more serious. It's not like you don't want to just sure, party all the time, that'd be great, but when you've been a part of, when you're not used to that, what do people do, And so it's so interesting. It's just so interesting. And then there's so many other things at play, as a projector in human design, we are able to, if you haven't heard of human design, I would love to guide you towards that. Just comment or get with me on any of the social medias, Divinely Genuine Facebook page, Healing Hearts 32 on Instagram. Projectors are able to feel the heart center of the person. And then as you know, someone with, I don't know how to describe it, like, I can get to know someone within a few minutes of meeting them, and I guess that's the projector quality. I think it's a lot more. I can see it in my chart. But it's in the physical. So then when you start to understand this inner world, right, it's so beautiful. But when you're on these timelines of astrology and not really paying attention because you had to like break away from this matrix shit, it's just it can be a lot. It can be a lot. And you know, I try to keep faith mostly, but I know I tend to put on rose-colored glasses, and I really am not about that, you know. But I was re-listening to the Leo King's Lightworker School today, because I was thinking about redoing my school that I have right now, because I'm like, I don't like the way I did that. For some reason, when I did my school a few years ago, like, I think it was just 2 years ago, so much has changed. I didn't do them like Aries or like fire signs and then air signs. I just kind of mixed them all up, and I didn't like the way I did that, so I wanted to redo it and up the value and just make it a little easier for you guys. And I like to go to a trusted astrologer that I resonate with, right? And I went thinking about the equinox, and now I don't remember what I was going to say. And isn't that the way of it? Sometimes you just gotta let go. But I did want to put that out there because it's important. I know I don't understand all of it just yet. I meet conscious people all the time, and they seem to be tapped into being able to be a part of the collective consciousness. And apparently I still have blocks in that and all kind of stuff, you know. Each person is so unique. And, you know, sometimes I feel like people make it sound so easy. Like, what is your problem? Just choose love. And it's like, choose love. Like, I'm over here navigating an inner world in a soft, feminine way, with Mars near my north node. Drive me. It's just so many things. But it's a unique situation. I was really glad to see my uncle today, or yesterday, because he was, what am I saying? I don't have a lot of family support because I've chosen not to put myself in that energy anymore, and it's almost chosen me, with cycles ending, as you know, the Leo King like was confirming the other day. I hope you guys are a part of High Vibe if it resonates. What was I gonna say? But he's just, you know, my Uncle Kenny is really cool. He's easy to talk to. You know, he's the one that told me about like mental health stuff in our family, and he's just real, even though he's passionate about his faith. But what I find really interesting, we're supposed to's, right? But we are, like, to vibe up I had some lessons on vibing up today, and to vibe up, we're learning about frequency. We're learning to set boundaries and say no to certain energy, like, you know, I mentioned with my family, but and I know a lot of light workers had to do that. And there's a split in the world, you know, we know all these things. But it's interesting. And that's where it becomes about saving your own soul, your own self-love thing, which is crazy because it's connected to other people and to other people's fate. My uncle brought me some food, a bag of food and waters and stuff like that. And I wanted to give him something. I was like, well, I don't know, what do I have that I can give him? And I was going to give him this, which I found one day. I thought it was really neat. It's neat how you find the reflections like throughout your day. And I have a Bible from him last time I was down in Houston. And I find it interesting, you know, that where they he didn't want to take it because it has a cross, and Jehovah Witnesses, apparently they believe that he died on a straight, I forget what they call it, like one straight thing. And I love and respect his belief, but for awareness and to honor my truth and to just illuminate some things, you know, maybe just plant some seeds, you know. I mean, I didn't hurt my feelings at all about this. Like, I could, you know, I was just trying to offer something that I thought he might appreciate. And I like when people stand up for what they believe, but I do not like, because it's important, very important, when our rights are in the hands of governors and other people that act as God, when each should be operating from their own truth. And what I'm learning is to check in with that heart center and ask, is this my truth? And when it's not, the body will fill it once you start clearing and all of that. And so speaking of the astrology, oh, that's why I brought up the Lightworker School. I love how he added in there the body parts in his that how it's related to the body. And I knew like piece by piece. I don't think I knew the calves, and then I just realized like, oh, it goes in order. I remember when my mom took me in like first grade. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just like sharing with y'all, you know. Me. I think it's important though. I do. Relatability, especially going through all this. You know, let's just be real with people, with ourselves too. We are going to get to astrology 23 minutes in. But what I was going to say is, oh, my mom took me to get eyeglasses. It's funny how I said eyeglasses and not glasses. When I was in first grade, because I put like a piece of cat food in water because it was fucking like still. Like, sorry. And anyway, so we're going through the alphabet at the doctor's thing, and and I didn't realize at all that it was going in order. And we got to L, and I was like, a banana? And my mom was kind of upset, you know, as we're leaving, like, why did you say that? I think that's probably like money, one of the big like programmed fucking conspiracies to control us. And why do I say that? Because it's man-made. It's real, yes. We need it, yes. But love is able to produce when we're operating from love. It's able to connect us to the miracles of being divinely supported. And it's really neat. And it takes so much courage. It doesn't even take so much courage. I mean, it does at times when you're first navigating it. But I believe once you're in it, you're good. It starts to trickle, trickle or spin. I think David Palmer was saying how you start connecting the dots, you start seeing the synchronicities. Air signs. If you try to replace your thoughts with breath, gets us right back in our heart. When we let our mind just go and go and go, we're polluting our body, the collective, all kind of stuff, and it's literally taking away from our hearts. We're designed this way for good reason, but we definitely have to control it. It hurts us. Yeah, so that was really funny that I called the L banana. It's interesting. My hand earlier, in the middle of my hand, was giving a sensation, and I looked it up, and it was the crown chakra. And it's funny how Jesus, they say he had the nails through the palms. What a time, what a time. It's interesting to learn to stop looking outside of ourselves for God. And especially when you've relied on God in that way and it's gotten you to where you are. And then super time comes and you don't have to do anything, but it's learning to vibrate with God, which is the frequency of love and truth. And the truth shall set you free. Ow! So, this may not, some people don't like this, and I do question it. As I'm seeing that, when I connect with certain people, certain things, then I'll get a couple other people in my reality that I understand why it came. But I do honor the light and God in all of the spiritual work. What was it? My uncle mentioned Matthew 6:31 and 32. Yesterday, and I wanted to look that up because what are we against, guys? We're against, to each his own all the time, but we're against, I would hope we are all against hate, and we can all be for love. And I know that's not true. I know some people like to hate, but disconnection is no good. So what did I say? It was Matthew 6 that he had, 31 and 32. So never be anxious and say, what are we to eat? Or what are we to drink? Or what are we to wear? For all these are the things the nations are eagerly pursuing. Your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. There's truth everywhere. We don't have to stress so much for physical. On one hand, we can rely on the support of the divine, which is cool. But then you get into this creative mode or creator mode, like on Minecraft. And it's like, yo, what? Yo, what? And this is a deep thing to where, especially for people that have been able to love God in a out of ourselves type of way. It's just different, right? So be open to your beliefs changing to get you to your truth. And try to do your best to be your authentic self, right? Your natal chart can show you the energies you naturally embody, and if it resonates, there you go, and then you can start to follow it and align. Some of us with too much mental stuff, like air signs, can get a little caught up in trying to figure it out. And it's like, no, just embody it and be yourself. So I wanted to share also, words matter, thoughts matter, and if we go back to thinking of ourselves as a computer and the frequencies aligning with whatever frequency, and I shouldn't say that because we are not, especially if you're operating from your heart, right? In which but everything that we read and take in, right, becomes what we believe. Excuse me. But when you feel that love of your heart and it opens and it sends you a message, that's where you know it's truth. It's so important right now because this is how we know where to go. Okay? The body with astrology is interesting. Like me with, right now, my kidneys and my back are feeling a certain way. And, on one hand, when I'm around people that are not sharing the same frequency, and because I am on a divine path, I'm being asked to step up and do all this stuff, like in a freaking, what's it called? I don't know. I'm on a fast run course. It's just so much, because what can seem like a blessing, right? Like signing a month-to-month lease today. And on one hand, I'm like, yeah, but I can see the positives in this. And then it's like, but look at the astrology. And this is not your truth. And it's like, fuck, what do I do? And what do you do? When there's little funds, a little support, we're going to be logical. We don't want to get trapped in Neptune craziness on the street, right? And so it becomes lessons of learning. But so much is at risk when you keep yourself in energy if your body's feeling it. It's crazy. Crazy times. Yes. So Libra rules the kidneys. You can look up certain things. When you feel unsupported, that's in your back. And that heart center love really does meet you with so much healing. So much healing. And it's just crazy because it speeds up your heart rate, you know? But then you've got to like, you don't have to sit there, but you've got to spend the time in the inner work, in the inner world to create, yet your heart rate's speeding up, so you want to do things. Like, it is such an amazing adventure, I suppose. You know, I think a lot of why I'm sharing my truth is because beyond anything, and I try not to be too prideful, I try to be aware that I've been wearing rose-colored glasses, that I know who I love, that I know my truth, that I know where I belong, but that I'm trying to figure out, now, why do I have to go about it all these different ways instead of just the traditional way? And that one gets me a lot. I'm still like, what the fuck is all this for? Like, but it's because we're in world-changing times, you know. Who would have thought that choosing yourself could get so complicated? We don't realize how covered we are with all the shadows, I suppose, especially when you're a good person. And then you start purifying, you're like, yo, where'd all that come from, you know? I just want to be real with you guys so you can understand when you're on this journey that it'll be okay, you know? Like, you never needed someone outside of yourself to govern you, to tell you how God is my opinion. Take it or leave it, whatever resonates. And what I'm learning too, but it's kind of an interesting one for me because of where we're at in time. In 2016, I was supposed to learn the self-love deal so that I'd be ready right now. And I do have faith because I do feel my heart. And I can feel my angels and my guides and see the miracles. It's just what I know and not compromising my heart's ultimate truth, you know? It's almost like, it becomes like, not counseling, but like, well, I'm just like, where do people really go? You know, and maybe there's videos out there that, like, I could have watched, but not that I plan on leaving this earth or anything, but as I'm navigating my way, and we're dealing with people that are going to be so programmed, and maybe not, consciousness is weird. I just want the awareness to be known that I've had some of the most beautiful experiences this past couple years in the inner world. And, you know, I do like, it does trip me out when you hear certain people that have been doing this like a while talk about it like it's no big deal. And it's like, how do they not like get that that's so fucking foreign? You know, like, and then it's just like, well, I guess there was an emotion behind it, and it's like, well, what the fuck do you mean by that? There's emotion, but it's outwardly. It's used to operating outwardly, like, and so that's interesting. I think a lot of it too is us needing to take time to integrate and to really sit with the gifts that expose themselves. Like, on one hand, we're told to pay attention to frequency, to vibe up. And I shouldn't say we're told, but that's part of this new thing. You can't vibe up if it's not your truth or if it's the wrong frequency, you know? And even more so now than ever. And what is it? Sorry. I was going to say, oh. And so with my uncle, like, my heart was feeling really good, really, like, swollen with love and support. And that's the key. Just get that heart lit up and keep that momentum going, you know? Harder for air signs because we get in our mind. Harder for people that have endured things, you know? And blah, 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 blah. And then I think a lot of it too is when we're not spending the time really focusing on the good and taking it in. Because I know for me, if it's so surreal, honestly. Like, I wish my mind would just click because it's so surreal, this experience, that it's almost like, I mean, I'm a believer. That's why I'm able to have gotten here, you know. But with my uncle, even though he's, you know, I'm an astrologer and I'm awakened and on this light work path, you know, and whatever that means, you know, here we go, like disconnecting and segregating, not segregating, but, you know, people, we just do that though, and it is needed because, and that's another thing with Libra, we are here and we can relate to everyone. And I'm trying to I'm not really trying to understand that. Like, I, trust me, would rather love to just straight to my divine partner, straight to my soul family. But that's not the way you go, apparently. So I'm trying to navigate that. Like, so what? I didn't dance circles and circles and circles, and you could have just accepted me like 2 years ago with all that non-heart energy. What's phenomenal though and neat as I'm understanding that we're to navigate energy and it's not that we can't associate with our family, but what I'm experiencing and you know is we start to just take on their energy and then we see it in our reality, you know. And when my uncle left, because not just because I needed some kind of like any support, right, but because we genuinely, and I compliment him that he can just be real and be himself, you know. Like, we were laughing about, you know, certain like family members only like reaching out like once, you know, on the holidays. And it's like, yeah, they're like traditional, like, you know, deal. And, you know, he'll talk about his drug problems when he was younger and this kind of thing. And when he left, my heart was so swollen. I was so happy. Because I just needed that, I guess. I just needed that support. And that's what I said out loud. I was like, thank God for people of faith. Because I don't care what you believe. I do in a sense, but I'm not here to like convince or shift your shit or anything. You shift your own shit. You're gonna have to, unfortunately. But we can't help each other, you know? Open hands, open hands. But what's phenomenal is that when my heart swelled and I said, thank God for people of faith, my third eye, which has the most, this was probably one of the highlights of my day. And I'm trying to make sure to remember these because these are gifts. We can get greedy right now of like, but I want it this way and I want it this way and this and this and this, you know? And it's about really savoring the gifts. My third eye tends to be a little dimmer when I'm indoors, and what I'm understanding is it's because I'm not like with the like-minded individuals. You know, I'm putting myself in like a client's home is what it's like been turning into, you know, potentially. And what's I gonna say? So my third eye lit up with so much color when I closed my eyes. I don't like that. Thank God for people of faith. And my heart was swollen, like my heart center. And in this beautiful gold, red and pink, and you know, I don't even know all the colors that time. My little diamond in the middle was so bright and so beautiful. And it was just like a gift because as someone with a lot of Libra energy who relates to everybody and who would love to see everyone just come to their truth, though I know that's not going to be the case, and I know that through astrology, you know. And just understanding and respect, you know, and understanding in my own path that this is not child's play. Like, I know that I may, you know, lack some confidence or, you know, have my certain things, you know, at navigating life a whole new way. But if I didn't love myself, I would not take the risks that I'm willing to take. And I really want to see a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it. But then, and if they don't, and they just live their lives, ignorance is bliss. I mean, I definitely don't want to go back to that because I know what's available to me. It's just a matter of like navigating what is best when the body needs to heal. When, you know, like how divinely supported are we? There's a lot. There's a lot. Anyway, I hope that I didn't bore you too much. Thank you for letting me get out. Not even get out, but express the truth of my path, because what else is there? What else is there in these times if we're not being honest? And I hope and pray that it helps them. So grapeseed oil is really cool because it helps with divine connection. So when you're putting on, when you get out of your shower, you can practice like cleansing rituals in your shower and bath, which is just like mindfulness, right? Especially if you're air signs. Mindfulness practices in the shower. The mind, the thoughts, all of it is key. And then as you're rubbing this on you, watch what your mind's saying and do it intentionally. And so this helps to control the mind. It helps to like weed fear out of your programmed system. And so grapeseed oil helps with divine connection, which is the third eye, and the heart space. It helps with fertility of creativity and mental clarity. And so I just like speak that all over. I mean, speak that as I was like putting it all over. And I spoke more things too. We are so blessed indeed. It's a divine oil though, grapeseed oil. And you know, the awareness I got when I looked it up today for like the third time was like, I operate really well, and I think this is a lot of it, is getting softer and not feeling like we have to do. But when we see that, like my dental appointment came to me 2 weeks early or 3 weeks early or something, and that would be amazing because that's something that really affects like my confidence, and you know, I want to be able to get in there and get things done and be able to feel comfortable, you know, being romantic and, you know, and but you know, instead of just receiving that as another blessing, like my third eye thing, there's blessings all over. The mind tends to worry, right? And or tends to feel like we're not doing enough, you know, or you know, like, oh, but I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, when your heart or your intuition are saying, no, you got to just sit, feel, build. And it's a lot of in and out of realities and shifts and things like that we're going through, and it's okay. And be gentle. But we've been, you know, that Mars energy of like do is one part of it. We do have to take action, especially like Libra energy, or any air signs, because we can get in our head. And if you really would like to know more about astrology, I highly encourage the school, highly. It's such great knowledge, especially to share as a tool at this time of awareness. So, air signs, yeah, so we can tend to be in the head, and I don't remember what I was saying. Should we get into the astrology? Should we talk astrology? How about a little frequency? Oh, that's what I was going to say. The masculine energy of Mars, go, do, you must, actually tends to take away from fully receiving, which is the feminine, softer energy, which is needed when working with the light of the inner body. Such an Aquarian face. If you guys are interested, and if you are looking for a good brand of essential oil, please get with me. Young Living is amazing, and I would love to be able to offer that to you. And there's all kind of ones. You can get the grapeseed oil. It's really important to observe energy of things, right? Like the intention is one thing, but then also it's the energy, the frequency. Like, would you rub car oil all over you? Could you change it by the intention? Like, I'll just go with like not doing all of my own research. Okay, so let's take a minute to breathe and get in the heart space. God, I thank you that we are supported and that we can believe in ourselves. Excuse me. Not just to manifest for greed or for selfish reasons, but to become a part of your flow, of your co-creativeness, of that divine love. And God, I pray that as many people as possible right now would open up to their truth, and that we could all start to better align to the right relationships. And I pray for all the Libras out there and all the, Libras, anyone that, naturally it's more challenging. And I thank God that we are all returning to our truth and that we have divine partners and soul families that do support us, and that you, God, the divine of love source, that you support us. And I pray, God, that no matter the programming outside of us, we would choose to do what's best for us, not in a way of detachment, but in a way of being heart opened to what and who we know, love, and trust that is divine. And that we also at the same time take ourselves and put ourselves first in a loving way, because we are only responsible for our own path. And God, I also pray that my truth may touch some ears and some lives and make some ripples and, get to where you need it to go. And let's get on with it. Get on with it. All right, so this astrology is for Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I believe it's Tuesday. Let's see here. Tuesday, March 2nd. Tuesday, March 2nd. Hello, Tuesday. I do like Tuesdays for some reason. Happy Tuesday to you. Did you guys watch Deep Love Tarot on Havad TV? It's a really awesome show. And how are your love relationships anyway? This can be a crazy time of disconnection. This can be a crazy time of being connected to the wrong energies. And it's a phenomenal time when we link to the right energy via inner world or outer. And so, okay, astrology, we've got Mars in Taurus, right? And it is squaring Venus in Pisces still. So some restriction between the divine lovers, between our masculine and feminine selves. For me, I've experienced when the heart rate starts to go and you get in creative mode, if you don't keep it going, or like needing to take the time to receive it too with the Venus energy, right? So I feel like that's a bit off, like in the own self-discovery or whatever process. And then with divine partners and connections, there's, a bit of like a challenging energy with squares. And which is kind of interesting if you think about it. I mean, I feel that and see that in my situation, but I do know it's unique, as all of ours is. We do have this square between Mars and Venus that is nothing new, but it creates an edge. It creates a bit of an attraction, right? But it does restrict a little bit. Another square that I thought, we have a grand cross between the Sun and Pisces, spiritual expression of the heart. Neptune, ruling planet of Pisces, so spirituality on the positive, music, energy, flow, surrender. Also, it is escapism, dream world, illusion. And this is a time where we are hopping into like 5D and creating our worlds, and that can feel a bit delusional or illusional, but it's the spiritual realm. It's beautiful. I mean, the gifts in themselves are so beautiful. I had a breakdown moment of truth where I was looking at the astrology and looking at the choice I had to make, and was like, no, this can't be right. I should be with my divine partner in the physical. I don't get it. What is the problem? And I'm like crying my eyes out, and it's like self-love, I think, is the issue, and frequency out. And I'll go ahead and proceed. And the reason is, I'm learning this divine support, coming back from letting go of everything and having to build up from scratch, car, house, all the things. And I know like that it can happen. That's what's crazy. I mean, and not to be delusional, but I know that is what is available as this rolls on. But there's navigating is by way of the heart, I suppose. But another, I would say a third most lovely thing about my day was the after crying and really just having a moment of like, and we are getting rid of self, letting go in Pisces, right, of subconscious patterns. And so if you have heightened like happy times, and then some times where you're releasing, totally normal. But when I finished, when I came back into my space, to my room, I was met with the most divine love. And it was so beautiful. And if I could just sit and soak it in and be present, instead of like, oh, but let me do this first, or do this first. And it's so annoying and stupid, because I value nothing more than that. But how beautiful. And when it comes really strong like that, the colors of my third eye are super like red and just easier to see. And that's another part of this too, the like being able to see when, we need to maybe think of all these people that are asleep or living in the dark, and whatever their programming is and their trauma is and their issue is, and not being present and whatever the fuck. And they're just mental like processing. It affects like your vision too, as far as like being able to read the writing on the wall, and being able to clearly see with the third eye and all this stuff. I'm really excited to start flowing back into that abundance. Modern Gentleman on Instagram, I love for his plant medicine, and he does it at such a high vibration, 432 hertz. I'm always talking about him, and has like huge crystals that he charges them to. I think he's got a line in 7-Elevens now. I really, really do love Chris and Alva. I appreciate them and their energy, and I'm so excited to utilize things like that. I believe that really help to clear. And then Reiki, which I'm so excited to do with Tamara Jean from High Vibe. And because I think it really clears and allows you to see more color. But from what I'm also experiencing going on a walk the other day and coming back inside, it tends to change. But anyway, I'm getting off, of course. The love energy that supported me through my process of crying out my truth of like, but I need answers. What is the point of having this divine guidance if I cannot be clear? And the beautiful thing about it is it's freedom of choice, which is a lot of responsibility. But it's so dumb all in itself too, because it's just choosing what is good and pure and beautiful and sacred and your best life. And it's like, how did that get complicated? But we attach to these belief systems of understanding God in certain ways and comforts of how we know the world, or just lack of knowing how the fuck to navigate things when people make it seem so easy, you know? I think it's important on this light work path to remember that each person is truly different, you know, in their design and in how they want to understand it, and we just all do the best we can and take back our personal responsibility for self-love so that we don't harm not only our own path, but what we came here to spiritually do and our divine partnerships. And that's a hard one too, you know. Just the thoughts of that bring fear, right? And but hey, we're all still human, I think. We're becoming more human than ever, actually, with the age of Aquarius, the humanitarian, though it is very like electric and very like alien in a way, like very like well, it's the opposite of Leo, which is Leo is love, and it's our truth, our soul. It's what gives life, the fixed fire. And it's interesting because it's opposite of that. And so it's interesting that we're becoming more human. And you always, I feel like, use the polar opposite. Anyway, let me go back to the astrology. So we have a grand cross between the sun, the sun in Pisces, Neptune, and the nodes. So this is really speaking. Oh, and Vesta's involved, which I found was really interesting. I like a lot the asteroid Vesta, just because I had like, I mean, she protected the sacred fire, you know. She protected the hearts. And I had a really cool meditative experience with her. God, to think that my divine partner has been here with me this whole time. This is where I'm like, God, I need to integrate so that I can really embody and understand this. But I feel there's this pressure of time. I'm just like venting to you guys. Because it's like, let go of time. But then with astrology, it's like, there's no letting go of time, man. You better flow with it. It's so beautiful to be able to be supported by like soul family and divine connections, soul contracts, whatever it is. especially like if you came from like not having that, which is a lot. I can't wait to really create something for poverty-stricken people and kids. And I know there's a lot of things out there already, but it's just not fair for them. And it's not even just poverty. Like, I feel like that does like do a lot, but it's not. Because you can have, I have to remember that, you can have like a poverty-stricken home, and sure, their like knowledge maybe and their skills may suffer because maybe they couldn't, have access to being in social events or being able to travel. But I don't think that's always true. But then they could be emotionally supported versus maybe the parents like of a wealthier family. I hate even talking like this because I feel like I'm like segregating and like labeling, but for the sake of conversation. But you could have children that, because their parents worked so much to provide like college and wealth, that there's no emotional support. Yeah, see, this is where as another Libra, so I'm like, I can't wait to do this. And we have to watch that South Node thing, like bring it back to the self. Logical. Self-love, 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 self-love. Self-love plus light work. And that's where it's like, I think sharing our processes are really the best teacher and what we know. Showing up with what tool we know. So this Grand Cross with Vesta, the Sun, Neptune, and the nodes is crazy because Vesta is now in Virgo. And I do remember the Leo King mentioning that Lucifer, the asteroid, is in Virgo as well. And I feel there's a lot of truth to us, like, I feel more than the food being the answer, though it is a lot to do with healing, not as much as you would think. Fasting with some water and doing some mindfulness of stretches and I think is great, and utilizing crystals and oils and stuff like that, like innovative fasting, I believe. But there's nothing like linking to the astrology and having your heart center opened, because that in itself is so healing, and allowing the divine feminine to soften you. But with Vesta in Virgo, Vesta being the asteroid of, I go over some asteroids in my school too. She was the Roman goddess who protected the sacred fire in the temple. And in the temple, if we think of our temple, this is why I like to, take some things from the Bible, or, I can't read like other languages, but, I would, like the Quran or whatever, because like, it was freaking, there was light in everything you read, especially if light is knowledge. But, she protected the sacred flame, and if we think of astrology, the sacred flame is the fixed flame of Leo, the heart, love. This is where the magic happens. This is where the divine support comes in, is what I'm learning. And this is where the phenomena happens in the inner world with these soul families or divine connections. And so Grand Cross with Vesta, the nodes, the Sun and Neptune. This is really interesting, and there's a lot of beautiful aspects as well. But that means our heart's expression. It means our heart, the help of protecting that heart, and and that's the heart in the spiritual world, and the spiritual outer planet restricted to the divine path, which is kind of crazy. Like an edge, it's a little harder, it's a little challenging. But a grand cross, that's even more of an influence than just a normal square. I'm interested to see what the Leo King might say about this as I do, go to him or Christopher Witecki. I've just been, sticking with High Vibe TV. And, but it's like our spiritual expression and our sacred flame are having almost like a tug of war, if you will. That would be kind of like an opposition, like full moon or something, but like not as easily flowing as like a trine towards the nodes. That's a beautiful like way to have easy access. Okay. We do have easy access, however, with the moon trine Venus today. Okay, so one, let's think about our hearts and really protect it and remind ourselves, even under this energy, what our divine path is, and practice the mindfulness and practice filling that heart. And let's be mindful that the divine feminine, divine masculine energies, Mars square Venus, are under like that pressure, But we do have the benefit of the moon trining Venus, and Venus is in the exaltation of Pisces, where she is expanding her spiritual quest. And the moon is the comfort of our emotions, the mothering, nurturing, Cancerian, protect the tribe energy. And so that's positive communication for the, it must be, we still have the moon in Libra, so it must be a sextile actually. I put a trine, but that's a sextile. So still positive communication, easy flow. And then we've got the North Node trining Jupiter and Mercury. So that's a definite positive that I know for myself I'm going to definitely try to utilize as best I can today. And a very important thing, is I think right now, if, because a lot of us can feel like we're in between worlds and we're navigating and learning so much, is to, where are your values at? What are you valuing more than anything? Where do you want to go? Because that's the nodes, your destiny part, your progression, why your soul came here at this crucial time in our lives. And so the North Node trine Jupiter and Mercury is expanding. Mercury and Jupiter are expanding that Aquarian energy. Aquarian is the higher vibe of God, the higher frequencies, the upgrade, the knowledge, ruling technology, ruling humanitarianism, ruling groups. You learn all this in my school as well. The North Node in Gemini. Again, this is all probably repeated. But it's that twin-like local energy, very logical. So if you see yourself in a situation, a living situation where you're like compromising, and we don't want to get ungrateful, but we either make the most of the situation and compromise our truth at the same time, or we make the most of the situation and watch the manifestations work, or we take risk and follow our truth and let it work itself out however it flows. And but we know that 100% of shots not taken are what? Wait, how's it go? They're missed. That's it. So that's a beautiful, beautiful aspect for today, is we have a positive influence towards that destiny mark of aligning with twin-like energy that will get us more that frequency, that will get us to clear more of the body restrictions, of the third eye restrictions, open up the doors. And whether you decide to do this inwardly, outwardly, whether both flow, however it flows, don't be pressured of do. Feel soft, feel into it, because we are able to sink into the heart and fill the energy out around us. Now, and remember, your mind is creating a lot of what's going on through your heart, but your truth, if you're a heart-centered being, will let you know. Mercury, and Jupiter trining the nodes, so that's a beautiful aspect today. On this Tuesday week. So all in all, this day, it's about the relationships and the alignment of destiny, because I don't know if you watched on High Vibe the Shattered Reality 2021, where David Palmer covers the whole year. But hello. Welcome to the party. We got ambition, the Eight of Wands. So it's like, go, look at all those birds. Go where the ambition is. Now, I will say there's a Sagittarius thing on here, so don't be too dreamy. Don't put too much fire to where you're outside of yourself causing craziness, you know. But the Eight of Wands is a successful ambition and drive. So maybe that's our cue to watch Shattered Reality. By the way, with my school, I am giving a free gift, and I think you're gonna like it very much indeed. Divine Spirit, I would like to serve the collective with this reading. Whoever may see this video at this crucial point in our times, Divine Spirit, what would you like us to know? Ooh, we got Temperance on the bottom. Ooh, we've got the Empress reversed. That means that we are learning our inner value, and that we have not embodied that in the outer. Huge time for that. Huge time. We've got the High Priestess reversed, which is not listening to the intuition or the inner guidance and needing to go within. You know, any reverse cards, it's a need to go within and locate that value. Sit with yourself and really integrate what you value so that you can show up that way and following that intuition. And then we have the Ten of Coins reversed, which is the legacy. What legacy are you leaving with the Ten of Pentacles reversed? You know, so we have, I'm going to pull two more. We have available to us building an inner world of value by following our intuition to create a legacy And we've got the Seven of Wands reversed. Seven of Wands reversed. And this is Mars. Interesting that it's Mars and Leo. It's funny. Well, you know, because it has Mars and Leo, that makes me want to say, you know, he's protecting what's sacred. He's driven for the truth. But Seven of Wands, yeah, it's definitely a fighting, like, warrior vibe. And that was reversed as well. So maybe, like, not, oof. And then we got the Death card. But no reason to be scary. To be scary. Even though she's freaky. The Death card is actually transformation. It is an ending, though. It's an ending and a new beginning. Or it's transformation. This one's freaky. Freaky, 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 freaky. So on this day, we are subconscious. We know that we're creating that balance. And so we have the passion and drive, the ambition to move forward. Okay? We are, as a collective, learning our value, needing to go within. The Empress knows her value. She's fertile. She embodies this Taurus energy of enjoying life and knowing who she is and what she's here to do. And it's almost like she hasn't been through shit. And it's beautiful for the earth realm. Like, she knows she wants to enjoy life, so she has to have a plan. She has to value herself enough to put that plan together and to manifest it. And so in manifesting, we're to look at the fixed signs, right? And so maybe we can take that into consideration today under this astrology with that T-square, or not T-square, with that cross. But also with this moon sextile Venus and the North Node with Jupiter and Mercury. Definitely we need to value those twin-like energies. And so as a collective, we have value issues. We don't know our value. As a collective, we aren't following our intuition of the High Priestess. And, you know, Uranus and Taurus is definitely changing the value systems. And Mars in Taurus, squaring Venus, definitely is restricting that value. So our values are changing right now. And it's really on a personal level, guys. Choose today to embody and sit with that Empress energy of what do you value? And where is your intuition leading you? And what legacy are you building? Because it's being blocked. And are you, Mars and Leo, fighting for love? Are you standing up for what you believe in? Are you standing up for yourself and what is sacred? Okay. And it's time to put an end to all of those blocks so that you can transform. Okay? Which is really cool to end it that way. Like, we start with the ambition, okay, full then moving forward, and have the ability to transform. Now, where's Pluto in all this? I wonder what aspects Pluto's making. I'm going to grab that real quick. it shouldn't be much different, but I want to deliver the truth. So I like that we start with some ambition and some drive, and that the potential is to transform. The Death card is transformation, and that snake that you see that's coming from the ground that we've been, told that's, terrible and this, that, and the other, like that's the Kundalini awakening as well, which is the light energy. But this is definitely, I mean, and it's no, it's no, in order, it's no surprise, because in order to have, oh goodness, it wasn't charging that whole time. In order to like be a manifester, you have to know your value, and most people don't. They're working for other people, right? And in order to follow your guidance, look at her. How many people in our society are doing that? Let's see real quick. Do I have this phone on? What's today? The 2nd, Tuesday. So Pluto squares the moon today. Oh, wait. Actually, but trines Mars. Pluto trine Mars today. Okay, that makes a lot of sense for these cards. I like it because it's like the ambition and the Death card, Pluto trine Mars. So as a collective, we are changing our values, needing to go within to clear the box, to really get clear with ourselves on our own individual values of what you're experiencing right now, and integrate like hell. What do you value? Like for myself, I value my divine connection, my soul family, and honoring myself and why I came here, and giving myself the opportunity to take the risk to follow that truth. Why? Because it's my heart. Duh. It gives me everything. But so we need to integrate and look at our values, integrate. We need to follow our intuition, however that is for you. And we need to really think about, what legacy are we building? Why did we come here? Are we playing small? Are we avoiding obvious things? Are we avoiding a plan? Are we avoiding the inner world? It can be a lot at once, but there's a need, I think, to prioritize things, If you get out of certain energy and frequency, will that then clear up a lot so that it flows better? Or do you just need to sit and be and soak up that love energy and build? It's because 10 of Coins is building. The Empress knows her value, and the Priestess is intuitive. The 7 of Wands is fighting for the sacred flame of love. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we have the ambition for transformation, which is great to see that Mars trine Pluto. It's yesterday's cards there. So this is the Keepers of the Light deck. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys. Divine Spirit, thank you so much for this opportunity to serve you in this way. Thank you that we will have transformation and breakthroughs today. I call to us all this node, North Node trine Jupiter and Mercury, that twin energies would be in full communication, that the moon trine Venus would sextile Venus really help us in understanding our emotions and what makes us truly comfortable, and yeah, align your life. And so then we have no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. Interesting. There's a need to prioritize. So you'll know what that is by way of sensations of the body and the heart. Okay. And let's see, where's all my decks at? We're going to do an animal spirit card, but I'd also like to do a flower of life card. Thank you, Spirit, for our divinity, for all the relationships that are coming together as we each individually choose to vibe up with however that flows, and understand that we affect each other, and to take time to be and to allow and pray for one another, and open up your mind. Let go of attachment, open up your mind to how things can come. And let's see what we got. We got balance. For you to fulfill your potential to become all that you can be in every moment, you must be in balance. Otherwise, you are resisting life and creating tension. This resistance and tension are needed to a certain extent for anything to expand, grow, and become more. So this resistance and tension are needed to a certain extent for anything to expand, grow, and become more. Learn to recognize, I feel that a lot with squares. Learn to recognize the resistance rather than letting it run you. Anything you don't like, sense it, feel into it, and the next logical action step will present itself. This step will move you in the direction of your potential, your dreams and desires. Take a deep, gentle breath. And thank whatever has moved you out of balance. Say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for showing me what I really don't want and reminding me to come back to my balanced place. I like that a lot. Where I will be inspired to create what I do want. I am willing to experience all things, for in doing so, I become clearer with my highest loving path. Namaste. And I think to each their own all the time, because it truly depends on where you're at in your path. If you're feeling like something in your body, you better go. Oh, we just picked one of those, but let's just see. Sacred. Let's just see what we got. I won't read the whole thing. This is a long video. Weave your life and mystery. Interesting. I want to read Weave Your Life. You are standing on the edge of everything you desire. Take a step or a leap into what the mind perceives as the unknown, and you will pull toward you all you dream about and desire. Create, create, create. You are a work of art in progress. Weave a different web full of your dreams and desires, and be willing to meet them when they arrive. Get yourself ready by knowing they are on their way, and by being present in each moment. If you are distracted by the future or the past, you won't know they have arrived. Your life is happening now, and you are weaving the direction of your life in this moment. Where would you like your life to go? The choice is yours. Spiral inward and feel your wonderment. Let's see. So I do the Goddess tag. I'm going to do the Goddess Tarot. And I'm going to do a specific one for that for sacred unions. Alright. Let's get some good juju for these beautiful, heartfelt connections that we haven't seen in our lives before until now. And, you know, it's always a good reminder that if we just get present, we can fill into the heart space. Palo Santo. I wish you guys could smell it. It's so good. So good, so good. We had some rainy weather yesterday in Houston, or Cyprus. Very rainy and cold. Sorry. I was dazed off thinking about, yay, we got the King of Pentacles. I was dazed off thinking about Till Swan has a thing of self-love that I keep avoiding that she's emailed me. And I don't mean to avoid it, it's just like so much at once. She has a phenomenal story. King of Pentacles is a great card that came up. It's mastering the finances and the value, the energy exchange. And Divine Spirit, could we have some cards to understand love and divine unions at this time? Thank you, Spirit. Spirit of love and source and fate. And so what fell was some fear. We've got the Five of Swords reversed. Should I leave it down there? So we got the King of Pentacles and then the Five of Swords reversed. So totally mastering our finances. Inwardly, we can discover some fear, some mental things that create fear. And so going in, you know, with it reversed, it's interesting though. Going in to discover like and try to heal those areas. Oh, we got an Ace of Pentacles, a new start, a new seed, a new aces are lucky. It's like, yes, something in the physical realm that is more in alignment of divine love. That's beautiful. And then we've got the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is the Piscean energy, very Venus and Pisces, subconscious, dream world. She kind of has a romantic vibe to her, an intuitive knowing. Interesting, because we got the Eight of Wands earlier, and we got the Eight of Wands reversed. So not really seeing the passion in the outer makes sense with Mars square Venus, but having it blocked somewhere inwardly. We've got the Eight of Cups, which is wondering and searching for more. And guys, we really have to be careful with that. So this makes sense with the astrology, because if we're wondering, you know, the deeper meaning to things, or because these things can be so intimate that it gets very like plutonic, of wanting to hold on and it feels so good and it's like, but you're experiencing your own soul at the same time. but wanting more, or searching for deeper meaning. We don't want to fall into the south node of Sagittarius where we keep searching and wondering. Like, you don't need to do that. You need to fill into your heart space, observe your heart, focus your mind, use your guidance, and watch it flip. And so now we have a reversed power card, which is the transformation of Pluto energy. And this is the movement forward. So this is for divine partnerships. So on one hand, it's really beautiful that there's a fresh new something in the practical that really speaks to some good luck in our favor in the physical environment, and as well in the very beautiful, dreamlike, romantic, intuitive vibe, or the subconscious. So it could be this, like, being able to see things in the spiritual world in your physical reality. Like, that's a true gift. We don't want to take advantage of that, But inwardly, not really having the passion or drive. Makes sense from Mars square Venus. And spending too much time searching and wondering for more. And being restricted on moving forward because we don't have that passion or drive. And so, you take what's working and really integrate that, So look for that seed that's planted that's very dreamlike and intuitive, that has to do with your divine connection. Whatever it is, however it comes. And maybe, people say, like, go within and spend time with your inner world, which is super important, but know when to come out of it. Like, mine is very clear of, like, nope, we don't want you to go in right now. We want you to, like, eyes open right now. I'm just like, okay, wait, that hurts. That's not my truth. That's not my heart. And I'm grateful at the same time. It's not that comfortable. Not that comfortable at all. Alright, so we're going to end with an animal spirit card. And I hope that you guys got something from this Tuesday's video. Divine Spirit, if we could have an animal spirit card to finish this reading for the beautiful collective. I thank you for the awareness that I'm blessed to be able to spread. And God, I pray a blessing over myself and my divine partner, that we would both choose self-love and our truth, and for what we're building and what we're connected to and what we're committed to. And I pray that everyone that we can influence would, these words being spoken, would already start to make those ripples happen. And I thank you that as many divine relationships as possible will come together right now. And I ask for peace and balance and love and blessings on all the light workers and on us individually to choose ourselves, and however that looks. So we got partnership. The puffin. You be puffin? Accept yourself and your colorful personality. Yes, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Don't dull your shine. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. Yeah, teamwork, unity. Alright guys, I definitely have to go to the restroom. I love you all, you would like to enroll in my school, I would love it. You will get a free gift, and it goes straight to your inbox. It's $200 via Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and if you need like a payment plan, we can do like a 50 per week or per, however fast you go. And this information of astrology is such a beautiful tool to have right now to serve others. It's very divine. And just to understand your own chart and awareness, you do get a natal chart reading at the end of the 4-week course, or 4 days or 4 hours, however long. You get to learn how to read your own chart, which I like a lot, because I find that very valuable. And if you're interested in my free moon sign reading, or information rather, on your moon sign, please reach out to me on Instagram, HealingHearts32, or on Facebook. My page there is Divinely Genuine, or you can comment here. And I ask that you be free and shine your beautiful self, and stay true to your authentic, divinely genuine self. And if you're unsure about who that person is and how to find her again or him again, or need any kind of guidance or counseling, I also do intuitive counseling and coaching, whatever you want to call it, And don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. We are very much divinely supported by the love of each other. And so maybe let's keep it simple today. Am I accepting love? Am I giving love? Have I honored myself? I like it. All right, love you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share if you feel led, and see you mañana. Peace.